Hey guys, welcome back. Got another video here. Actually, I don't think we've done this one before or from this person. It's from More Than Athletes. This was a suggestion from one of the subscribers a while ago. But it is the rugby reject who became a Super Bowl champion. So we're tying in some rugby with some of my NFL football. Based on the picture I saw for the clip, it looks like somebody that is or was on the Eagles, Philadelphia Eagles. Um, they won the Super Bowl last year, and then they won a couple years. Well, they went to the Super Bowl a couple years ago, and then they won a while back. But again, a while back. But I'm not sure who it was, just kind of based off the picture, and I don't know a ton. I used to follow all of the teams a lot more than I do now. Now I just kind of follow the Panthers. I used to paint furniture and do like decor. We used to own a shop around in Charlotte. And so back then when I was working and painting, I would just have like the NFL Network radio going just in the background, so I would hear a lot more about other players and stuff and teams. Now I just kind of do stuff when I'm looking it up, so it's more Panthers than anything else. I know a little bit about some other teams, just kind of have got paying attention to the draft and stuff like that, but I'm not familiar with this player, at least as far as the picture went. I may not be familiar with them at all. But I'm excited to watch this and learn about them and their story. Very cool that they got to the Super Bowl and won. But yeah, I'll link this in the description along with a link over to Patreon and a link of how you can support the channel here on YouTube. And let's do it.
His rugby dream was over.
Why do you want to play National Football League football?
It's a fun sport, you know. Why not? Why not give it a try?
I'm like helmets and pads.
Yeah.
Sport.
Yeah.
Getting into it with, I believe, Jordan Mailata.
I was wrong.
To understand Jordan's story, you have to go
Right. His name is familiar to me. I didn't know. I don't know his backstory, but his name is absolutely familiar to me.
back to Bankstown, Australia, where he had one dream: make the National Rugby League.
League, I think you have to be more on the fitter side for league because I was 310. Yeah, I was 310. Every time they make a tackle, you got to run back 10 meters. It's just very cardiovascular.
Oh, okay. So he was on New Heights with the Kelsey brothers. I don't watch that regularly. I see clips and stuff of it. Jason played for the Eagles, so he probably was much more familiar with Mailata. And then of course Travis, is Taylor Swift's boyfriend, and the tight end for Kansas City. I generally root against Kansas City just because I don't ever like win any like juggernaut that just continuously wins and wins and wins. Um, they turn into the villain, right? So to me, they're a villain. Um, but I do like him as a person. I like Jason. I like Jason's wife and New Heights. Everything I've seen, I like a lot. So
Enduring.
So Jordan sat on the bench, and his pay was terrible.
The contract I signed, $200 a win, $100 a loss, but I had to play in the game. It was jack shit. I was just doing odd jobs. I was doing construction, I was doing scaffolding, I was doing stage building. It's not a sustainable lifestyle. No. I just wanted opportunity.
Jordan made a highlight tape and sent it to every rugby team, but nobody responded. Instead, something else did.
that's what some modern day rugby players get paid. That is crazy. Like is this is it modern? Like I guess it depends what league you're in and team, but like that is not sustainable. This is one thing, one of the many reasons why I keep saying like I don't know why these guys don't switch to the NFL, and it's not because I'm biased, although I am, but because of how much money these dudes make. Like they could do 1 year kicking or being a defender or whatever. They could sit on a bench here and they're gonna make millions of dollars for it.
Agents had mentioned something about the NFL called the NFL International Player Pathway Program.
The IPP is the NFL's way of finding talent overseas. They scout talent from all around the world, fly them to the US, and teach them football. From there, a select few earn a special practice squad spot that is made for international players.
The NFL flew us out to LA to audition. I told my family before I left, like, we'll see what my interests are after this workout, but my goal was going to be keep playing for the NRL. After a week there, they put me in classes, guys teaching me just simple X's and O's, and I was captivated. It was enough for me to sway my decision and
love that.
Yeah, this is what I want to do.
We worked him out there and he had a great workout. From there, kind of the next thing was to get him on the program.
He finally got an opportunity, but there was one last obstacle.
In Samoan culture, you have to ask your parents for permission. The day I got back, sat all my family down, this is what I want to do. Everyone said no. I was 20 years old. Nobody's moved away from home. You don't know how to play the sport, and your NRL dream. Like, your dream as a kid is always to play first grade. I could do that after. Like, I'm still, again, 20 years old. My dad, before he said yes, he just said, are you sure this is what you want to do? And if you do, give it everything you have. So can you promise me that? And I said, of course, Dad. I promise you I can do it.
Oh, Jordan! Uh-oh, better get it!
I think for bench press, I had like 20, and I was like, that's pretty good. They're like, not for your position. I was like, what position? Left tackle. I said, what's that? I thought I was going to play.
Oh, okay. So he played, like he would have been generally 2 spots away from Jason Kelsey then, because Kelsey was the center, and then you have your guards, and then your tackles.
Play running back, so they said left tackle. And I was like, okay. It was 5 days a week. We had Sunday off. That was our recovery day.
Yep.
But they killed us.
Yeah, well.
They destroyed us.
Mailata is making noise, and teams are flying out coaches to see this kid.
I went and worked him out, and I was like, wow. I couldn't believe, I was like, just a big person like that could move and change direction.
If this guy was in college football today, he would be a first or second round draft pick.
When I met him at the car, I was like, oh, this guy's such a sweet, lovely old man. Like, went to the classroom, flipped the switch. He was quizzing me like I was like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Like, what?
Then I erased it off the grease board, and I said, I'm coming back tomorrow at this time, and I'm gonna have you teach me what I just taught you.
I ran back up into that classroom. Thank God the grease board marks were still there, because I just traced out everything. Took a picture, rubbed that shit out, went home and studied it. The next day, he told me, hey, teach me two-jet protection. I said,
Easy.
Halfway through the program, they told me I was draft eligible. Had no idea what that meant.
The NFL draft. Each year, over 16,000 college athletes are eligible, but only 259 get selected, and less than a third ever makes a roster.
A lot of things going through my head. Didn't get much sleep last night, so a lot of things are happening, but excited and nervous at the same time. We were there for all day. We were there for like 6 to 8 hours. You're not expecting to be drafted, but what if you did? What if? And I got a couple of phone calls. Green Bay. False alarm. Or fake calls.
There's certain players that you couldn't live with yourself.
Yeah, this is becoming an increasing problem of that they had a couple instances of it this past draft of people getting a hold of these numbers, usually from somebody within the organizations, and then they prank them and say, oh, I'm so and so team, and we want to draft you, and it's BS. And these guys, I mean, this is millions of dollars at stake of where you can get drafted if you get drafted, and yeah, it's really crappy. This past one, the most talked about one was from I don't know if you guys know Prime Time Deion Sanders. He was huge in the NFL. He was a cowboy in his big heydays, but he also is now the coach of Colorado State University, and his son was a quarterback coming out this past draft, Shadur Sanders, and they were people calling him. They actually did do investigations and found out where it was coming from. It was like some coordinator's son or something in one of the organizations. It was just really crappy. They got fined But yeah, big mess. Really crappy to do to somebody else. I don't like it at all. But at least they're talking about it more and there's more awareness now and hopefully holding people accountable.
If you saw them have success somewhere else, it would have haunted all of us if we didn't get Jordan.
Howie doing what he does the best, moved up in front of Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna go get this guy.
Hello, Jordan speaking.
Jordan, picking you right now. You're an Eagle, bro.
I start crying. I just start crying because I'm like, fuck, like so many emotions.
I got the last pick. Oh, I can't stop crying, eh?
With the 233rd pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Jordan Mailata, tackle, Sydney, Australia.
So you get drafted, you come to Philadelphia, and you enter, in your words, Jeff Stoutland University.
I said, Jordan, remember this. You have to trust me as your coach.
Rookie minicamp. Oh, it was terrible. Oh, dude, it's terrible. I cringe. Like, I cringe so bad. I was getting put on my ass by guys who were built like Rey Mysterio, like, Jesus.
In the preseason, the Eagles wanted to see how Jordan would handle the pressure. So here he was, playing his first NFL snap. But on his very first play, he gave up a strip sack and caused a turnover.
I told you that's what's coming.
He was thrown straight into the fire. And a couple preseason games later, he had his welcome to the NFL moment.
Frankie Louvu just leveled me. That was the first time I'd ever been leveled like that. Like,
what the fuck was that?
Frankie was a Panther. We tried to get Frankie to stay here and he wanted to move back closer to home, but we had Frankie for a while. Frankie's for real. Wait, that's what they call like that welcome to the NFL moments. The first time usually they get on the field in a real game. And a real NFL player will put you on your butt.
Exactly what happened. I was like, what the fuck just happened?
But he didn't quit. And after only a few months of playing football, Mailata didn't make the practice squad. He made the 53-man roster.
Maybe the best story in the entire National Football League is here in Philadelphia, and that's left tackle Jordan Mailata. I didn't think he had a shot at making the Eagles 53. I thought he was a practice squad guy only. He's making the 53, and he might be your left tackle of the future.
It seemed like a fairy tale, but it was far from easy. Although he had all the physical traits, mentally he was behind.
First day I got here, I got handed a playbook that was this thick. Didn't know where to begin, and when I looked at it, it was like a different language.
At the same time, Coach Stoutland was on his ass, demanding excellence every single day.
Sometimes Jordan's like, can you let up on me a little bit? Like, no. But he knows, like, I care an awful lot about you.
And just when it couldn't get any worse, Jordan suffered a back injury and got placed on IR. 2 years went by, and he didn't play a single regular season snap.
There were a couple times early on in 2019 when I thought about, is this what I really want to do? Thinking about home. My first 2 years I struggled with the support system. And coming from Samoan background, family that I always knew they were always there.
There's not one game that he played for the Rabbitohs where he didn't look in the stands and didn't see his family.
Having them not there anymore was really tough.
I reminded everybody, and I know this was going to take time. And I told him many, many times, there's going to come a point in time you're going to feel like it's all starting to come together for you.
In week 1 of the 2020 season, right tackle...
I was just going to mention... when these guys get hurt, so the team's like a family, but when they get hurt like that, and especially to be out for 2 years, one, you worry about your job security because fans are going to start saying they're injury prone, they're not worth it when it comes contract time, let them go. Just draft somebody else. Just grab. I mean, left tackles is a big important position because you're protecting the quarterback. So these guys get paid big money. We're about to pay one of our left tackles that we drafted. So, like, I'm sure they're trying to scheme all this up to right now. I'm sure they've been in talks forever. trying to work out contracts and what each side's wanting and all that jazz. But when these guys get hurt like that and they're out for a long time, even though they might be in and out of the facility and stuff, and they might even be there for home games on the sidelines. I've heard several players talk about how just kind of how polarizing it is. Maybe that's the wrong word, but isolating. Because they don't necessarily even feel like part of the team. They're not traveling with them usually. They're not on the field. They don't have that like brotherhood bond because they're not out there playing. Even though they might be in the locker room and stuff together here and there, or in the facilities. But we've had several players. We've got one right now we drafted. He was coming off an injury. He finally made it back last year, rookie. And I think 3 games in, he re-injured the same knee again. And now he's out. He's not even played this year. He's not playing this year. But he'll be back next year. Hopefully good. But and that's so mentally hard for them. And then on top of that, for him to not have his support system, not have his family there, I bet that was so difficult.
Jack Driscoll starts cramping.
And I'm like, well, who's up next? And everybody's looking at me. I'm like, oh, it's me.
Standing in front of him was 4-time Pro Bowler Ryan Kerrigan.
I didn't want to waste that opportunity. I didn't want to be a failure. I didn't want to let down my family.
Jordan held his own and shocked everyone. He wasn't just a feel-good story anymore. He was proving he was a legit player. Mailata went on to play 15 games that season, earning respect across the league. The Eagles were convinced, and by 2021, he was named the starting left tackle. And just 24 hours before kickoff, his life changed forever.
We have some breaking news to get to here on a Saturday as the Philadelphia Eagles and starting left tackle Jordan Mailata have agreed to a contract extension.
Okay, this was 4 years ago. That amount has gone up every year of what these guys get paid. 4 years, $64 million with almost $41 million guaranteed, and with incentives, he could make up to $80 million. This is why I'm saying I don't know why these guys don't go even to sit on the bench like for a while. Like these rugby players, I know you guys love them and y'all want them in rugby, but like just from a business standpoint.
Extension.
4 years, $64 million deal, and I couldn't believe it.
Like, how do you put into words that kind of feeling where you're speaking to your younger sibling, knowing that they've changed the Mailata generation forever?
That's the correct way to say it, guys. Mailata on the back of the jersey for the world to see.
But on the field, reality looked very different. The Eagles stumbled to a 5-7 start and finished with an underwhelming 9-8 record. But for Mailata, it was the opposite. He'd taken his game to an entire new level and had an amazing year. He kept improving and put up an even better 2022 season. And so did the Eagles, because this time they made the playoffs.
The 2 best teams in the NFC are about to collide for Super Bowl 57.
Jordan faced one of the league's best rushers, Nick Bosa. In a gritty battle, he held his own, giving up 0 sacks. The Eagles dominated. Wow. And now, the kid from Bankstown, who had never touched a football 5 years ago, was headed to the Super Bowl.
I couldn't believe that actually we're going to a Super Bowl. When you found out, it really just hit you. I just reflected on everything that it took to get there.
Super Bowl 57 starts now!
In an absolute classic, Mahomes and Hurts went touchdown for touchdown. And in the fourth quarter, it was tied 35-35. But in the end,
the City Chiefs have won Super Bowl 57!
The loss hurt, but for Mailata, it fueled him. And he answered by putting up the best season of his career, cementing himself as one of the top tackles in the league at just 26 years old. The Rugby project turned into a monster, and the Eagles made sure he wasn't going anywhere.
Eagles and left tackle Jordan Mailata reached an agreement on a 3-year, $66 million extension that includes $48 million guaranteed.
Congratulations, Bob.
6 years ago, I could barely afford a train ticket, and now I was in
Italy, and many nice hotels. You know, that's kind of when I was like, oh wow, you've come a long way.
Jordan had become more than just an elite tackle. He became a leader, a team captain, and he led by example.
Just dominate your box. Punch him in his mouth and do it over and over again until they quit. I say, I'm gonna talk my now. You know you can't stop it. I'll see you in there.
Locked down at the line of scrimmage.
Hell yeah! Break they will. Break they will. I was wondering what would break first. Your spirit or your body?
PFF graded him as the #1 tackle.
He sounds like a Viking or something like that.
In football. And after an incredible season, for the second time in his career, he made the Super Bowl.
All we got is one more time. One more time to do the same shit that we've been doing all year round. I ain't got much to say, man. I'm not into that rah-rah shit. That's why I let Landon do that shit. First half of you guys can't even understand me. That's all we got, man. That's all we're guaranteed. One more time.
The Eagles faced the same team that crushed their dreams 2 years ago, the Kansas City Chiefs. But this time, it wasn't even close.
To see, Kyle drives his way in. Touchdown. A.J. Brown. He's in. Touchdown.
And when the final whistle blew, Jordan Mailata had become the first ever Australian Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, I don't know what to say right now. It's surreal.
Inside my heart is full of joy, and I'm so proud for him.
Think about all the kids back in Australia. It does give hope to a young kid that maybe says, well, I want to be the next Jordan Mailata.
At the end of the day, Jordan wants his story to be way bigger than football. He stated, "I'm proud to represent my family, friends, and fans back home. I hope my journey can serve as an inspiration to other young athletes chasing their dream." What a story. Jordan Mailata. I hope
That was really good. Got me teary-eyed a couple times. A really good story of somebody who wasn't even sure they wanted to play, if they could learn all of it, and really if they wanted to, and to get 2 life-changing contracts, win a Super Bowl. Um, Incredible. Incredible. Uh, there's so many stories like this from the NFL, and it's one of the many reasons that I love it. They do these international pathways, and somebody mentioned it in one of the comments on another video, and they're like, "Oh, it might just be like a publicity thing." And I remember thinking at the time, I don't know if I even replied and said anything about it, but um, I know Panthers a couple years ago had used that to bring in a guy. I was trying to think of his name earlier, and I can't. I mentioned him in probably a couple other videos, but they did a whole video on him and the pathway of him trying to make the team. And I was rooting for that guy so much. He did end up making the roster at one point, and then went to the Commanders. And last I know of, he got hurt. But I was really moved by his story. He had gone through like trafficking, he and his sister, and been ended up in London, and he had tried to play rugby and ended up on that international pathway here. Um, yeah, I don't know if he still play. I looked him up not too long ago just to see what had happened to him, and it had said the last he played for was the Commanders, and he had got injured. And they were kind of waiting to see, and that was actually like I think 2 years ago or something, or a year ago. So I don't know if now he's on the roster and he's just maybe not a starter anymore. I'm not sure. I need to look more into that, but that was an incredible story, really good story. Just love, people overcoming and succeeding, and um, yeah, I'm so glad they won that Super Bowl. Like I said, they dominated the Chiefs too. It wasn't close. Chiefs this year, we have the Panthers have a better record than the Chiefs right now. Eagles are having a little bit of a down year. Kind of what happens here when a team gets the Super Bowl or has any type of great success. Um, One, contracts start coming up. They need to get younger. So they'll have to end up releasing players or trading players off, or players go somewhere else for more money, and even like their coaches, coordinators, people calling plays get poached from other teams because they want somebody who's good that has Super Bowl experience and got there. So then they have to kind of fill all these holes, and as good as their roster is, they just they sometimes have a hard time just because of the vacancies that they've had to fill, and it may not have been the right person that they put in there. And then two, when you get to go to Super Bowl, or you go even going into the playoffs, that adds on to the season. So there are other teams that aren't playing at all because they didn't get there. So they have a much longer rest period than a team that's going all the way to the Super Bowl. They're playing an extra couple games, and you know, a lot of people are saying that's what's wrong with the Kansas City Chiefs right now, is that they're finally, all of these years of going to the Super Bowl, it's catching up with them, and that's the extra wear and tear. Who knows? They call it like a Super Bowl lull or something, like, or a Super Bowl hangover. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know who's going to get there. I don't know if it's going to be the Eagles or the Chiefs in the Super Bowl this year. I kind of hope not. I always like it to be different. I hope we get there. I hope we got to make it to playoffs first, but we're in the hunt, as they say. But yeah, great story. I love it. Thank you so much to the subscriber that suggested that. It took me a while, but I did get to it. But yeah, thanks for watching with me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment. If you guys want me to watch something, you gotta comment and let me know. I do listen, I do pay attention, and yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate you, and I hope you have an awesome, awesome day.